Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the AEW Dark Review for the 1st of December 2020. Can't believe we're almost in 2021, and also can't believe they insist on having Dark be another two and a quarter hour marathon show. However, in terms of characters I care about, there was probably more on Dark than there was on Raw, even though there's a lot of stuff on Dark I didn't care about. Anyway, not much development. Excalibur and Taz are joined by Anthony Ogogo and Ricky Starks throughout the show. Starks is good. I try to listen to some of the commentary. Ogogo is abysmal, and Excalibur is probably the least favorite announcer I've heard on a national program since Mike Adamle. Like, he's just, I don't understand why people like his stuff. Anyway, so we move into the first match of this 16 or 17 match marathon. Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard defeats KTB. KTB has been an independent standout. Really good guy. Wish they were doing more with the character. Wish they were telling more of a story about what the paint was. Scorpio Sky's music plays a few moments in the match. Sky loses to Spears on Dynamite a couple weeks ago, and he comes out carrying Spears' metal slug that he usually puts in the glove that he uses to win matches. He sits on the ramp, watches this. KTB rolls up Spears after the distraction, goes nuts, hits several power moves, but eventually gets cut off, hit a draping knee lift. Spears beats down KTB, challenged Sky to come in and interfere in the match, but Sky remained stoic on the outside. And then Spears applies the Scorpion Deathlock, while Sky uses, which uses often leading to submission. Post-match, Sky faces off with Spears, but instead lays out KTB with a TKO. Maybe Spears and Scorpio Sky become a team somewhere down the road. That'd be cool. Ricky Starks against Damian Fenner. Complete squash match. Starks teams with Hobbs tomorrow to take on Cody and Darby Allin. He dominates this match, making fun of his opponent the whole way through. The opponent makes a brief comeback with a drop kick. Starks hits the Rochambeau and ends this squash match quickly. Brandon Cutler defeats Danny Limelight. Danny Limelight mostly comes from the UWN primetime deal, which I guess is being suspended in production till 2021 for whatever reason. Glad to know the NWA is back. I may cover it if I have more time, but like today, I'm recording in the middle of the night because I've had a busy day working. Anyway, the match itself is pretty nice. Limelight controls the early part of the contest. He hits a corner attack, and Cutler posts his shoulder, and Limelight manages to attack the arm of Cutler for a while. Fights out of an armbar with a power bomb. Limelight applies a sleeper. Cutler powers out of that and sends him into the corner. Cutler hits an enziguri and goes for a finish, but his arm's too weak to follow up. Goes for a tope suicida. Limelight turns that into a move on the arena floor, and then Limelight goes off the springboard. Cutler catches him with a TPK finish, and this is the 5th straight win for Cutler. Then we go to Peter Avalon defeating John Cruz. Avalon got his first AEW win last week. Cruz goes for a strike. Cruz, by the way, is a Florida independent standout. I really enjoy his stuff. It is actually quite sad that he's being used in this way. Anyway, Avalon clotheslines Cruz on the floor and posted him in the corner. He beats him down for several minutes. Cruz makes a comeback with some elbow strikes. And then Avalon catches him with a series of knees for a pinfall. A guy that's won 2 matches out of like 50 really, to me, should be only beating people you have no plans for. And if they have nothing to do for John Cruz, that makes me sad. The returning Shayna, I believe from Portugal, defeats Tesha Price. I love Shayna. I think she was one of the better women they had. This is her first match back in 8 or 9 months. And she's been stuck internationally due to the pandemic. Neither competitor really gets an advantage. Shayna misses a running drop kick and runs into the ropes. Price gets an advantage and gets some heat. Shayna counters with a straight jacket submission into a cradle and lays Price out with strikes and a stunner. And then she hits a tiger suplex, bridging for the pin. Decent deal here. I hope Shayna's back more regularly, and I hope they do something with her. Alex Marvez, otherwise known as Vanilla Announcer Guys, tries to interview Scorpio Sky about a potential rematch with Shawn Spears, but Sky walks away. Hopefully this is the culmination of the tag team that Tully Blanchard was trying to form months ago. Kylan King defeats Kalina Perez. King dominates early and hits shoulder tackles and scoop slams. Perez takes over, hits a running uppercut for near fall. She sets King up in the corner, and King fights back with a missile drop kick. King hits a high kick and a German suplex, and King nails her with the Kingdom for the quick win. Nothing wrong with this, but there's 2 women's matches, and I think there ends up being like 5 on the show, or 4, something like that. Too many women's matches if they don't mean anything. I'm all for it if they have story purpose, but just putting them out there just to be nice and sing "Why Can't We Be Friends" is completely pointless. Speaking of friends, best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent with Orange Cassidy defeat Sean Maluta and Adam Priest. Odd to see how far they've fallen, meaning the best friends from main eventing Dynamite several months ago to a throwaway match here. Taylor and Maluta start off, neither gain a real advantage, which makes no sense. They do some chain wrestling, and then they tag their partners. Trent gets advantages for a while and follows up with a gutbuster. Taylor tags in, and there's some double teams by the best friends. Priest take control with a German suplex. That must be the move of the night since it's like the 4th we've seen. On Trent, tags in Maluta, who nails a Samoan drop. That makes sense, and it looked good. Trent fires back with a swinging DDT and tags in Taylor, who goes nuts, running wild on both opponents. And Trent runs interference with a spear. Best friends land knee strikes. They hit Soul Food in a half and half suplex. They hit a spike pile driver on Priest for the win. This is fine, but it's completely unnecessary when you have that many other matches. Leva Bates and Alex Garcia. I love Leva, but she's either got ring rust or nothing happened here. Garcia goes for strikes in the corner. Bates hits a slingshot spear, kind of landed awkwardly, and hits a backstabber. Garcia goes for a leg scissors submission. Bates counters and gets a cradle for a near fall. Bates applies a cradle for a victory. This was awkward. Both ladies were not on the same page, and it's sad because I love Leva Bates. Anyway, Gun Club, Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn defeat in Angel Fashion, BSK, and Sean Donovan. Gun Club comes out with towels over their heads, so I guess they're trying to be shooters or cool or something. Billy hits a backdrop before the match even starts. Donovan, in his AEW debut, starts off with Colton. Both Colton and Austin look like good future stars if they can keep a good track. Austin, BSK tag in. They wrestle around, and Billy comes in. Colton tags back in, but gets kicked by VSK. and Fashion lands a clothesline. And then Colton gets beat on for a few minutes and gets a clothesline before that gives him enough time to tag Austin, who goes nuts. He hits a flipping neckbreaker and the quick draw to get the win. I like Austin Gunn. I like Colton Gunn, and Billy Gunn has his place. But why do we need to see this three-man team every week? I know Tony Khan in a media call today talked about a six-man title. I do not support this. But if you're going to have this many useless trios, why not? You might as well. Matt Sydal against Aaron Solo. Solo is one of the better regulars on the show who hasn't really got a story yet. They exchange holds and strikes. Sydal hits a moonsault, and Solo manages to kick out, and then he starts taunting his opponent, and Sydal fires back with several kicks, overhead suplexes by Solo. Sydal makes a comeback and hits a heel kick. He hits a Northern Light suplex for near fall. Solo counters with running offense into a springboard kick for near fall. Sydal applies a crucifix, but Solo kicks out. Sydal locks in the Cobra Clutch, and then again they fight out. Sydal plants him with a roughhouse and a new sidewalk slam type finish for the win. Nothing wrong with this, but in a show that's already long, could you have put this in another place? Could it have been held off till next week? Speaking of, well, this is just why. Dark Order, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson defeat Fuego del Sol and Baron Black. There is no reason for the Dark Order guys to be on here every week. Absolutely, positively none. They're in the same position they were in when they started with the promotion. Actually, they were in a better place when they started than they are now. Anyway, Del Sol uses speed, hits a series of Ranas on Grayson. Black tags in. He's cut off, beaten down. Dark Order takes over. Dark Order uses power. Black lands a couple suplexes on Uno, tags Del Sol back in, and Del Sol becomes a punching bag. Del Sol managed to tag back to Black. Black gets some strikes in, and then they go to the outside, lands an exploder suplex on Uno. Del Sol tags back in and looks for some sort of top rope type finish. This does not go well. Grayson cuts him off. Uno stopped a tornado DDT, and Grayson hits the Nightfall on Black on the outside. And there's a flatliner. This was needless. Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison defeat Caesar Bonnie and Ryzen. Well, at least they got a win. Pillman and Ryzen have a relatively snug exchange. Pillman ends up winning that exchange, and Bonnie comes in, pulls the rope, sending Pillman to the outside. Ryzen hits a dive, takes advantage pretty early. Pillman follows up and reaches Garrison for the hot tag. I still say Pillman should be the one getting the hot tag, but that's just me. Garrison cleans house, and Garrison and Pillman hit a Doomsday Blockbuster. Double team for a win. At least maybe they have a double team move and they'll move up the ranks. Evilise defeats Lindsay Snow. Evilise really hasn't looked good, at least to my standards here in AEW. She fights out of a fireman's carry, hits a kick, sending Snow to the floor. She follows up with a cannonball, and Snow gets a minor comeback, leading to a very realistic strike exchange for a couple of minutes. Snow ends up coming out ahead. She should, because she's got some mixed martial arts background. She lands a running knee for near fall. Evilise fights back and hits a buzzsaw kick, followed by a front face kick for a quick victory. The Acclaimed, which is Anthony Bowen and Max Caster, defeated, let me see here. My notes just ran away. Defeated George South Jr. and Bobby Wayward. South is, of course, the son of former enhancement talent George South Sr. He and Waylon made their AEW debuts here. Caster makes fun of his opponents during the rap, and it's a squash match. Bowens and Wayward hit a strike exchange early, and there's a miscommunication on the floor over DDT, which looks painful for Wayward to take. South makes a small comeback after tagging in, but the Acclaimed cut him off and hit the Claim to Fame double team for the win. Chaos Project, Luther and Serpentico defeat Alex Chamberlain and Seth Genghis. Chamberlain, the best worker in the match. Chaos Project attack before the bell. Chamberlain and partner isolate Serpentico. Chamberlain gets distracted by Luther, allowing Serpentico to regain the advantage. Luther tags in, Chaos Project deployed, and that involves Luther using Serpentico as a weapon. Serpentico tries to switch things up, and a Spinebuster brings Chamberlain enough time to reach his partner for the tag. And then we see the Creeping Death follows for a pin for Luther and Serpentico. Completely useless throwaway match. Another one. Red Velvet and Lady Frost. This is like the 5th women's match on the show. None of them have been terribly impactful. Velvet gets an advantage early. She uses a leg lariat and a low drop kick for near fall. She keeps up the attack rather briskly with some strikes. Frost avoids the corner attack and lands an axe kick and a knee drop. Velvet moves out of the way, hits a standing moonsault, and then a series of kicks. And then Velvet gets a comeback. She follows up with a running knee and hits a second one for the win. Then we go to what sadly is considered the main event or the final match on the card. Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy with Marco Stunt defeat Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, and Dark Order, Alan Angels 5 and Preston 10 Vance. They just are all over the place. 2 in, 1 out of the rules for the match. Dark Order jump things before the match begins. Jurassic Express hit a double team on Angels. Janela and Kiss hit some drop kicks on Luchasaurus and hit a heart attack to get rid of Angels in the ring. Janela is sent outside and hits a cameraman by mistake. Back in the ring, Vance flattens Janela with a spine buster. I even think Vance, who's a relative nobody, has more going on than Janela does. Anyway, Dark Order isolates Janela for a while. Janela finally takes both guys out with a crossbody, reacting to Kiss. Kiss gets the hot tag. Jungle Boy blind tags in and rolls up Vance, who fights out of it. Hits a wheelbarrow German. That's like the 6th German suplex on the show. For a near fall, Vance and Angels isolate Jungle Boy and hits a rebound lariat. He reaches Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus goes nuts on everyone. Hits a reverse Death Valley driver on Kiss for near fall. And the Dark Order catches Janela in a dive. Jungle Boy lays them out with a tope. And then Janela hits a DVD driver on Angels into Jungle Boy on the apron. Kiss takes over on everyone with a moonsault. And then Luchasaurus nails Kiss with a headbutt. Why are baby faces and heels interacting so liberally here? Janela tries to chop him down. It doesn't work. Jungle Boy takes him out with a destroyer. Angels hits Kiss with a wig snapper. Vance hits a spear on Angels, and then Angels lands a splash. They set up for some sort of double team on Jungle Boy, but Luchasaurus gets rid of Vance, and the Jurassic Express hit their assisted powerbomb on Angels for the win. At least a team that has been partially pushed won, but there's no reason for at least half the stuff on this show to even air. Anyway, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.